Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep, welcome back to the map editor, and welcome back to this island that we are creating. Last time we were working on, well, adding a DC-3 to the island. So we added a Douglas Dakota if you are in the RAF, or a DC-3 if you're American, and we added it to the island. It's a lovely little feature, it's a lovely little addition to this part of the island. To the beach we added some trees, we added some foliage, we also added some rocks around the river entrance just to make it look a little bit more plausible why the ground is so steep here left and right. But this time I thought what we could do is add some skelly-bobs to the island, because we have this boat here. Now we're going to just say that the people on the airplane, they kind of, well, probably got off the island some way, or maybe just kind of became one with the sharks. Who knows? We're also going to ignore the people on the other boat this thing ran through, but a coaster like this would have had about, well, 6 crew. Captain, navigator, cook maybe, engineer's mate, and a deckhand, something like that. There's not that many people that need to be on a coaster of this size. In fact, the cargo area isn't that big compared to an actual coaster in real life. This should be about twice as long. Not entirely sure why it's so short, but weirdly, the bridge is huge for something like this. It should be about half the size, or half the consoles. Anyway, knowing that we've got a crew of 6, we should probably get on. But first, the controls, because if you're joining us for the first time, you might not know the controls. So this is the map editor. This is what we've been creating over the past several episodes. If you haven't seen those, it might be worth going back and watching them. But we have been using W to go forward, S to go back, A to go left, D to go right, E to go down, E to go up. We click and hold the right mouse button to pan the camera around. As far as objects are concerned, once you have an object selected, you can press R to rotate, T to transform, F to focus, which I think is it the stick? Yeah, it's the stick. C to clone, and then delete to delete. Although you have to click yes, because, well, you can't just press enter, or, return, or actually what it actually is carriage return, because a computer keyboard is based off of an old typewriter, and enter would have actually put you down one line. Doesn't matter. We're doing art stuff. Anyway. With that out of the way, we do have this area here, which is a way up to the forest from this side of the island. You got a little sort of stairs up there, and underneath is a little cave. And Tarwanian in the comments was like, "Wow, it'd be nice to have a skelly bob in the cave." So we did that. We put a structure in the cave with a skelly bob in it. We also have another skelly bob over here. Oh, while we're now navigating around, the reason the camera speeds up and slows down is not lag, and it's not the computer having trouble rendering anything. The camera speeds up and slows down based on proximity to objects. So there's a lot of objects, it slows down a lot. But once you're away from all the objects, well, then you kind of sail straight to the moon, because that's the way the camera works in this game. No constant velocity. I'm sorry about that. Speaking about sorry, we made a jumping puzzle. It's a lovely jumping puzzle. It's now in the shade, because apparently that's the game's like, it's shady now. Now it's less shady. Okay, we've got another skelly bob here at the end of the puzzle. So we got 2 skelly bobs out of the crew. And I'm thinking, we need a few more. We don't need hundreds and hundreds of skelly bobs on this island. We don't need them, because, well, some people might have got away. Some people, like the crew of this poor aeroplane, might have been eaten, or tried to sail away on the airplane's raft, or whatever. We know there's nightmares in the sea, and we know it's probably safer to be on the island eating coconuts. So we collapse trees, collapse rocks, because apparently I've got the objects toolbox open. Yeah, it's been a bit of a weird day today. I've been trying to record this, and then helicopters keep flying over, because apparently people keep getting lost in the sea, or lost at sea, or whatever, and the helicopter's like, "Ooh, we're coming to rescue you," flying over the house. And I'm like, guys, come on. So structures, we have some structures here. The reason we're in this side of the island is because they will face out in this direction out at sea. So when you pull them out of the toolbox, shelter 1, we got shelter 1, we got shelter 2, we got shelter 3, shelter 4, shelter 4. And I know which way these are going anyway, so Shelter 5, Shelter 6 can go over here, and Shelter 7 can go next to Shelter 6. Oh, I'm running out of space. What witchcraft is this? We've already looked at these guys before, but I'm just going to arrange them by size, and then Shelter 9. Okay, cool. They all have skelly bobs except for Shelter 9, I believe. Oh no, Shelter 9 does have a skelly bob. It's outside. But it's a bit too much of a grass hut for this island, so I'm going to get rid of it by clicking. Oh, there's buttons across the top and bottom of the objects toolbox, by the way. That's your transform, rotate. That's your focus, your clone, and your delete. So if your shortcuts aren't working, use the buttons. Anyway, this one does have a skinny bob, but it's kind of a big boat. It's made up out of a lifeboat, and I'm like, you're too big. Oh yeah, can't press enter. This one has two skelly bobs. One at the back. Hello, I'm at the back. And one at the front. Hello, I'm also at the front. Press T to transform. Lift them up a bit. There we go. So the one at the back is waiting for the one at the front to finish dinner, and it's never going to happen because, well, dinner's empty. Anyway, let's get rid of that. Oop, you're too big. So we got this one here. Is this one got skelly bob? Yep. Skelly bob. Hello. Again, very, very big structure. I mean, suitable if you're just putting one on an island, but we want a few. This one devoid of skelly bobs? Nope, there's one in there. Okay, goodbye. So these four are the ones that I kind of narrowed it down to. This lad here seems to find it funny. I think he's finding it funny because everyone else is trying to charge their iPhones and it's not working. Do you have legs? Oh yeah, you do. You got legs. This one here. Well, we've already used... Have we used that one? We've already used this one, certainly. This guy died of... Well, waiting for his iPhone to charge. This one died after swapping his hand and foot for an iPhone with no charge. And this one died after getting hit in the face with a wooden beam straight to the bean. Oh, great. So there are some skelly bobs here. These are going to be okay. I'm going to leave them there for the time being. Hello, and we are going to find a place for the skelly bobs to go on the island. We don't need all 6. I think we add 2 more and we're done. But we can't just add 2 skelly bobs to the island. I'm going to hit terrain and then objects so we don't have anything selected. So I'm thinking here's probably a good place. Shelter 1. Shelter 1, hello, I will add you to the island. Hello. I'm going to add this here. This is going to be a bit of a problem because there are already a lot of objects. So as we start moving these things around, one of the things that can happen is as soon as we let go, this selection snaps to another object in the background on the other side of the island or whatever, and then it becomes a bit of a problem. So he's got 2 hands, but I want his feet to be on the ground. Okay. We're assuming the LOD model is the correct model and not going to be different in height or diameter or whatever. So one of the things you have to check is literally everything. Make sure the fruit is harvestable if you put fruit on the island, or things like this are accessible. This crate here that's floating in the middle of nowhere, that's probably going to be a physics object, so that'll drop down at the beach when the player gets close or the island first loads. Don't worry about that, because you don't need to worry about that. Other things though, is this on the ground? It is. Just about. We can hit R to rotate and just kind of canter over a little bit. There we go. I mean, having stuff in the sand is fine, but then you've got stuff like this and I'm like, that ain't great. There we go. Nothing, no 1 pixel lines here, my old chums. No 1 pixel lines. Anyway, so what we've done is we've taken this lad out the toolbox, put him on the beach, made sure there's a lot of him showing, and then we kind of manipulated it a little bit. Great, good. We can move on and just ignore him forever. No, we can't. That's stupid. So basically what we're going to do is now how to decorate the area around him, because you don't have something in the world. Nothing exists in the world without having some sort of impact. Whether it's a rock, a tree, everything has an impact on the environment around it. So we're going to take a small rock 3, we're going to take this, we'll put this over here. Press T, press all the buttons on the keyboard, and eventually get to T. Press R to rotate. Rotate this around. Press T to transform. Move it forward, and then lower it down a little bit. So it's kind of nuzzled up against this other rock. Excellent. So the little rocky boy there. Terrain objects. Scroll the way up. Go to trees. Now we're gonna add a tree. Now, this is going to be tricky as but, because the way I want to do it is just glancing at this. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. The way I want to do it is there's a little gap here, and I want a tree growing up through there. Hello. He's got a perfect view of the sea though. Look at that. Hello. I am looking at sea, waiting for a photon charge. It will never charge because the battery is rubbish. I don't know why that's a thing. Just ignore me. Except for this bit. Ignore everything else, but don't ignore this bit. Because we're going to go find the ficuses. So we got ficus 1, 2, 3, and ficus tree, and ficus tree 2. 1, 2, and 3 are choppable ficus trees. Bit of a problem. Especially that one. Let's grab a smaller one. So if you grab this and just jam it through here somewhere. Yeah, no, you can just jam it through the wreck of this little boat. But this is a harvestable tree. There it is, harvestable tree. It's a physics object once it's been cut down, and you have non-physics objects. So if you clip one through the other, and the player comes along and does what players do and hits it with an axe, you might find sticks fly everywhere, and it's super annoying. It also means the thing that you've carefully put together has now been destroyed in the search of burnable materials. I want to build a raft. Build a raft out of something else. Anyway, we're going to take this. We're going to jam it through this hole here. So this is just a ficus tree 1? No, just a ficus tree. It is the first of the non-harvestable ficus trees. We've got a slight problem here. Apart from the fact that the camera is now going very, very slow, and we have no control over camera speed. Ooh, my camera, my computer. It's a powerful computer. When we let go, we might accidentally, it might snap to something else. I'm going to try and look out at sea so there's no other objects behind it. So we need to get it into this area. So once it's in, move it up a little bit. So we've got less chance of, see the manipulation point is also the point you need to click on if you want to reselect this as an object. So I kind of want to get it into a position. Oh my word, why is the camera so slow because there are so many objects here? Yeah, it's stuck on the Alocasia and the Ceramon, I think. The collision models for those. Whoa, yeah. Hey, I would love to be able to manipulate the objects on this island without having the camera stuck on them. Wow. Now I'm going to grab green, and once it's in its location, I'm just going to pull it all the way down. So that that manipulation point is now beneath the surface. That tree is now through there. We could probably rotate it a little bit. I think it's okay the way it is, to be honest. But let's do that. Just check, make sure it's not smashed into anything. It's not. It's still growing up through the ground. Okay, now we can press terrain objects. So we got a bug. We've the player won't have this problem. The player won't have the problem of so many objects in an area and their base just flying up to the moon. That was just tapping E. I don't even know where we were in the world. Oh, down there. I'm like, hi? What's Oh. All I want to do is add some dead bodies to an island. Is that too much to ask? Okay, right. So we're going to come out here where it's a little safer for us in terms of camera and camera values. I just don't want... it's just so much. Too much. Much too much. No. A nana. I mean, who doesn't like a tasty nana? Put it here on the rock. Oh, Alocasia. Small Alocasia. Maybe we could do just a little bit of greenery. Just a little bit of greenery. Because we want all the fun of the deadman. But we don't need... Press T, bring it down. R. Okay, yeah, we don't need it to be looking like complete butt. So I'm going to put that down into the ground. I just want to make sure the leaves aren't egregiously clipping it through anything like they are. A little upright there. It's what it's doing is breaking up that rock. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, cool. So we now have a deadman on the island. This box will be movable. He's sort of having a little chill. He's got this little oasis of plants and things. It's very lovely here, actually. Very lovely. He's like, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for rescue. Well, sucks to be you. You need to wait a little bit longer. Done. So we can move away. And he's not like completely noticeable. I mean, he is noticeable, but it's not the worst. You run along and be like, oh, here's a deadman. Oh, that's okay, cool. It's not like, oh, I just slapped him in the middle of the island and come look at me. From over here, you can barely see him. So as you're running along the beach, just be like, tippy tip 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 tip. Oh, what's that? Tippy tip tip tip. We'll get rid of those. The tippy 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 is what happens when you're running along hot sand because the soles of your feet are getting burned and you're like, oh, ow, that's really quite hot. I thought it'd be fun to go for a dip in the beach, but apparently not. And now helicopters have to rescue me. Oh no! Speaking of, oh no, we do need another deadman. So terrain objects, trees, and structures. Hello, structure. Hello, structure. I am looking for dead people. So what objects do we have here? Objects. Desire. Objet d'art. Well, we can get rid of that one. I don't want to keep reusing the same thing. Yes, go away. We've used one of these before. We could use it once more and it not look weird. This one's kind of... I mean, this one's okay. This one's just too brown. Don't like it. There's a lot of flat texture and browniness to it. I'm like, if beige, it's just beige. So we've got the blue, or stone blue, I guess, and we've got the thatch. I don't want to use the same thing over again. I'd like these to be different. So, which shelter was this? This was shelter. Was it 4 and 5? Oh no, we've lost the shelters. So it's shelter 1, shelter 4, and then shelter 6. 6 or 5. So this is shelter 6. Excellent. I will use shelter 6. I'm going to get rid of this one. There we go. Let's clean up this bit of beach again. But what I don't want to do is add these guys down and then it take up like landscape real estate. I want them to be here, but I kind of want them to be tucked away. So I don't want them to be all like, oh, I'm going to just do the thing. Just get in the way. Just put one here and then one here and just leave them there. It just doesn't feel right, you know? It just doesn't feel right. So, also, the crew might not have gone on together after the crash. They might have blamed somebody. They might be upset. This feels like a nasty little place to put a deadman. As in, really, really quite tight here. That's actually, yeah, it really is quite tight because that's another plant right there. Okay, T to transform. I'll move you over here and then do a little rotate. This is an important little area. T to transform. And then R to rotate. So this is a tree within a tree that we put down a while ago in order to add foliage in front of this rock face, in order to kind of mask the fact that there is a great big rock face here. So we're going to need to move some stuff around. That's going to be okay. So we've got Scully Bob here, resource here, terrain objects so we don't have any selected, and then we're going to take shelter 6 and sort of jam that in here, I guess. Now there is a slight problem, and that is that a player might decide to jump off the rocks down onto here. We don't want them to get stuck on one hand. On the other hand, okay. How are we going to do this? This is such a small area. It's inconspicuous at best. Also, I don't think that was the way round we should have it. So, R to rotate, and we're going to rotate it like this. Yeah, works a little bit better. T to transform, I'm going to bring it up. So the body needs to be on the ground. Body needs to be on the ground. So we're going to hit R to rotate. We're kind of very, very close. What I'm doing is I'm just looking at these 4 legs. I'm not looking at the canopy at all. We'll deal with that momentarily. I think that's probably fine. So if I drop that down, so the body's kind of touching the ground, that's okay. Then we're going to hit terrain, and then we're going to hit raise and lower. We're going to change the amount, and we're going to change the size down as well. So size is kind of a lot down. Raise and lower. And I'm going to hit set height, read terrain paint height, and I'm going to click by this guy's foot actually. And then I'm just going to make sure the amount is, well, 2 pixels off the end of the lowest value, and then just kind of raise this area up beneath him. Oh, underneath the foot might have been a bad idea. Underneath the shin bone. Just want to bring it up. Just want to bring it up. Just want to bring it up. There we go. And then we'll smooth it back. So we'll use the smooth tool and just kind of smooth the area out, exposing some of our skillybob. Yeah, there we are. That wasn't so painful. That was not so painful. There's probably going to be grass textures, so grass sprites and stuff growing up through here. It's going to make it harder to see the skelly man. Okay. So we've got some tree bits here, leaves and things. It's not so much of a problem. The other thing I wanted to make sure is that if you jump off here, then you can jump between this gap here. I think that's definitely possible. I don't want you to jump down and then get stuck and just be like, oh, I can't get out, I gotta reload. What are you looking at? I don't know. So yeah. So we got Skellybob here. Let's get it pop here. Visually, they're kind of close. That's a bit of an issue. So what we're going to do is go all the way back to the top and then hit up trees. So what I mean is visually kind of close. This guy is kind of, his feet are to the left, the skull is to the right, and kind of facing the boat. Same thing here. Feet to the left, skull to the right, kind of facing the boat. This is just because of the way these shelters are orientated. There's not a lot we can really do about that. Yeah, there's nothing we can really do except for break them up visually and to add something like, I was going to say add a Saruman, but apparently, so when you drag something from the toolbox, it follows the terrain or the surface of whatever object is nearby. However, if you have an object with a huge collision model, if I try and come over here, collision model, there we go. It's trying to stick to the side of the ficus. No. So we can get it in there maybe? It's a big old shrub. Big old shrubby shrub. I mean, it's good actually to have something this size here. So we'll just kind of jam it in there. I don't want it to be too egregious. No, I don't want it to be doing exactly what it's doing here, poking the leaves out of the rock. How do we deal with this? Well, we press T, we select the rock. We have selected the rock. We'll move it out a little bit, and then we'll select the plant. R to rotate, so the leaves aren't super clipping through. We might need to reduce this down slightly. Yeah, I think we do. Saruman, you're gone. So we got Saruman 3, which is a smaller version of the same thing. It's also kind of up on one side and down on the other. So what we can do is bring that into the rock, have the leaves over the top. That's probably a better idea. That's actually pretty sweet. I don't mind it being. Oh, it is pretty badly clipped there. All right. We're not gonna get away with what I thought we could get away with. I'll get it close, and then it'll be fine. Oh, okay. Okay, that little leaf down there. Pain in my butt. I think we could just probably ignore that one. Let's just ignore it. We just make sure it is actually in the ground, and it is actually in the ground. is actually underground. The reason I can't put the big one here is because if someone comes along and chops this down, the the collision box around the plant might stop them actually getting in and getting the all of the little leaves, the little juicy leaves. So but what I want is someone to be coming along and saying, oh, there's a Deadman, and then someone have to come over here and say, oh, there's a Deadman, without being able to see the two Deadmen right next to each other, seeing that they're in the same orientation. So just a little plant between them is enough to just kind of mask one dead body to the other. There are obviously two dead bodies right next to each other, but you know, just a little bit creative with the plant knife, and you should be okay. Speaking of creative, we should probably throw another little rock down here. Little rock. And we'll do that. So small rock 3. Okay. Why would we do that? Because people aren't going to build shelter in an area that's completely exposed. So wind, rain, and you know, that sort of stuff. So if we throw a little rock in here, you've got some shelter from the plant itself in terms of wind and rain, but you've also got shelter from the ground in terms of rocks and stuff, and you can also create a little pathway up. So I think that's kind of nice. And remember, all of this will be covered in grass sprites. So excellent. How do you think we are doing? I think you are doing okay. Okay, good. So we now have 4 members of the crew on the island. It kind of bothers me a little bit that this is as... I can rotate it a little bit more. There we go. Okay, there we go. It just bothers me that this was basically at the same angle as this. So it kind of looks like from a distance these were just sort of set the same ruler or path or whatever. I probably made it worse, but I'd rather one be at a slightly different angle than the other, just visually. No, that's fine. That's fine. So we'll hit terrain and objects, so we don't have anything selected. So yeah, we have a Skelly Bobbly Cave. We have a little PP in front of him because, well, that's what we put there. We've got the ficus. We got the yucca, sorry, which gives you a source of leaves, which can the player's going to come along and harvest periodically. So they're going to come and they're definitely going to be aware of these bodies here. We've got a body over here. So it's like, well, where was the crew? Where was the crew? Now we're kind of all over the island. All over the island, in insensible places, except for the one at the end of the rainbow, who has all of the rations. Excellent. Excellent. And what we haven't done is thrown them all over the island in order to take up space that the player might eventually use for things like building, or just standing on the beach going, what a lovely sunset. I wish the dead body wasn't in the way. Great. I'm going to leave it there for the time being. So if you're liking this, definitely leave a little like, leave a subscribe. And if you do subscribe, click the little bell because I'll give you notifications when videos go live. And I'll tell you what, I'll see you next time.